Alright guys, today's video is just kind of a random video. I think I finally sold this thing on Craigslist, or at least I'm hoping I did. It's kind of a basket case, but we picked it up and it had a motor with good compression. I was going to get it running and see if I could put it back together, but it was missing some parts, and you know, the starter was missing off the motor, so I just decided it's probably better off just to part it out. So I sold the motor, and I've been having a hell of a time trying to sell the tractor. You know, I put it online. I said I'd part it out. It's got a good 5-speed Dana rear end in it, transaxle. The two rear tires have decent tread on them. One goes flat, one doesn't. The other tires are not so great, but you know, this one holds there, the other one doesn't. It's got a great seat on it, no rips and stuff, and you know, like I said, it's got no motor in it, you can see. But yeah, you know, I had it online. I figured, well, somebody probably needs the seat or the transaxle, or maybe they'd want to try to make a, you know, a little go-kart or something out of it. You know, it's got a nice hood on it, light length's intact, you know, etc., etc. The deck on it was pretty decent. It's got some rot holes, but you know, if you had a welder, it wouldn't take much to weld those up. I could do it, but you know, you know, it's not going to really get me any more money for it. So, you know, I had it online for $50. You know, I priced out the seat and stuff at Tractor Supply, and they go for about $50 for a new one. And I figured a good seat, and you know, the transaxle's got to be worth $20. You know, maybe the rear tires are worth 10. So I figured, you know, it's worth about $50. If I was to part it out, you know, sell some parts on eBay or something like that, I added it up, I could probably, if I sold everything, probably around $120. So, you know, I was hoping it would sell, but it just has not been easy to move. I've had a lot of people offer me just ridiculous offers on it, and you know, if somebody is just gonna lowball you, there's got to be a point where you just say, hey, you know, I'll just scrap it before I'll sell it to you. You know, it just, that's how selling online is sometimes. You know, it's free, but at the same time, you know, how much crap are you gonna really take from some of these people? You know, I'm all for helping somebody out, but at the same time, you know, if you're just gonna keep sending me ridiculous emails and wasting my time, it's just, you know, I'm just not gonna respond to that. So, yep. So we're gonna load this thing up today and hopefully take it over tonight. Like I said, the deck. I also got this little Toro that I'm gonna try to sell. You know, get a little extra spending cash so I can put into my other projects. But this is just kind of a random video. Nothing really in order or anything like that. But I found this out in the woods. I actually found the whole, pretty much rest of the truck. It's been out there since God knows how long. I would say it's a 20s era truck, maybe 30s. That's like one of the hood panels off of it. I haven't really found any parts, like names or anything on it. I know it's probably a 1.5 or 2.5 or 2-ton truck, because look how big the lug nuts are. That's my finger next to it there. Those things are massive. Let me just look how big these freaking drums are. It's a size 12, so for comparison, but it's a drop axle with the spring over, and then it's got the two, I guess they call it I'm not really sure what you'd call it. You know, I'm not really up on the old stuff. I'd like to learn more about it, but I just haven't at this point. I know, like, Ford's had, like, radius arm kind of deals. I don't know what these are called. Maybe this is a wishbone suspension? I'm not sure. But it's got a drop axle. So I figured, you know, I'll either hang on to it because it looks kind of cool, or maybe I'll put it online and see if somebody that's building like a rat rod or a hot rod could use it. They can make a pretty kick-ass front axle. It's just different, you know? You don't see that stuff. I think the kingpins are seized on it because it's kind of locked in this position. But I found a bunch of other parts. I found the engine block. It was a 4-cylinder. I found a rear axle. It's got a torque tube on it, so you know it's old. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to lug that stuff out. The rear axle would make a good little trailer, but Like I said, I don't know, it's like probably 5 or 6 miles in the woods, like pretty much bushwhacking through this kind of stuff, and the rear brake on the ATV locked up on me, so I gotta fix it before I could even attempt to go back out there. There's also an old 30s era car, so if I do go back out there, I'll make a video. It's kind of neat, interesting stuff. You know, this all used to be farmland, and there's an old road that runs through the woods, so it's kind of neat to go check it out. Picked this up on the side of the road the other day. It's got compression, it's low in oil, it's out of gas. So hopefully we can get this thing running. That'd be kind of cool. You guys already saw the chippers going. I tried messing around with the case the other day and I could not get it to start. I'm thinking it's either the fuel pump again or a clogged fuel line or fuel tank. It's just not getting fuel. I actually put a lot of work into this back when I was in high school. Years ago, I don't know, maybe... Wow, it's got to be getting on almost... I don't know, maybe 7 years now. 7 to 10 years ago. I rebuilt the motor, bored it 30 over, bigger piston, bigger rings. What I do, shave the head on it, reground bigger valves. So it was rated at 10 horsepower, 10 horsepower Kohler, but now it's probably up closer to maybe 11, 12. But yeah, we've had this thing forever. It's a pretty cool little tractor. Yeah, I guess I can go over some of the tractors. So there's the case. Here's the Bolins. I know these are just garden tractors, but these two in particular, are really built like they're bigger counterparts. That one, you know, Case makes bigger equipment. I think they merged with International Harvester now, so it's Case IH, but this was back when it was Case or JL Case. Then the Bolins, you know, again built like a bigger tractor. It's got front and rear PTOs, shaft driven, locking rear differential. And here's my other Bolins. Kind of made 2 out of 1. It's not pretty, but it runs and does what I need it to do. My battery blew up, or is blowing up on me. As you guys can see, I threw some baking soda on it to try to neutralize the acid, but there's acid like all down in there, just boom. Still turns it over and everything, but you can hear the battery kind of boiling, so I think it's time. Next time I do a scrap run, that thing's going to the scrapyard. It's kind of dangerous having a leaky battery. Hopefully I make enough money on the scrap to pay for a new battery. This is my little dump card. This is what I pulled that axle out with. It just destroyed this thing. I had to re-weld the corner tabs on it. It just, like, you should have seen it. It was folded in half by the time I got it home with all the bouncing and hills, and you know, like I said, it's way back in the woods. So yep, that's what's going on today. At some point here I'll have to make an update on the tractor shed. It's pretty much all done. I need one more coat of varnish on the other side, and I may take that fence piece right there and turn that into a front block off, you know, like almost like a door, but like I'm just gonna make it pinned so I can just lift it and remove it. I'd like to leave it open, but some of my other family members want it closed off. They don't want to look inside it, so that's, you know, that's okay. We can work with that. But I took another piece of old scrap fence out when we redid the fence there, and I made a little back partition. So all my wood pile and my steel pile that's back there, my tire piles, you know, they're all hidden out of sight. And then as our fence comes in, I used those locks to lock it on the side. But I'll make a better video on that. When it's all said and done, I can give you guys final prices on what it costs to build and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much it. We've been burning all our burn piles lately because it's been pretty wet. We have one there and we had one over back there. So getting rid of that stuff and just cleaning up back here. I've been working on this slope. I'm going to chip all this leaves and debris, clean all this stuff. We got to reassess this wall here. As you can see, the hill's really falling down, so we're going to rebuild a retaining wall out of probably fieldstone. if not some kind of block, and try to build this back up again. Plant some plants and all different kinds of stuff. So that'll probably be happening this summer, as well as the boat project if I have time for it. I'd love to get that thing in the water this summer, but we'll see. So anyway, guys, I'm just going to cut it off there. It's kind of a random day. Like I said in my other videos, I've been having trouble trying to convert from MP4 to AVI. I downloaded a converter, but it just didn't work. I tried another converter, and all I got was the audio. So I'm just having a lot of trouble with it. This isn't my camera. This is one I borrow. So, you know, I'm not... Maybe when I go and get some money and I can buy a new camera, maybe I'll try to pick up something that works a little better with what I got. But, you know, a little more research, maybe I can figure it out. I don't have QuickTime Pro, so I can't use that to convert it. But I do have another computer that's got Windows XP instead of Vista on it. So I'm going to try using a converter on that computer and see if that works. So, yep. I'll haul this thing up there and I'll get back to you guys.